Hey everybody, it's Amy from Magic and Light Collection. You can find all of our products at www.magicandlightcollection.com. Today I'm going to be working with the overlays from the Gypsy Collection. And this is a set that we've had actually for a couple years now, but I've kind of neglected it recently. And then my husband, for some reason, mentioned it the other day, and I thought, oh gosh, I should do a new tutorial on Gypsy. So let's get started. Here I have an image, and I have already done some processing on this. You can see the before. This is the before. This is the after using Magic Skin and Magic Eyes. Magic Skin will be available in the next couple of weeks. It's still in the last stages of development. So let's get started with Gypsy. What we're going to do is go ahead and go to File, Place. And I already have the Gypsy Collection open, and you can see it comes with several, I can't remember how many, but I think it's somewhere over 20 overlays for you to use, and they're really awesome. They really have the ability to give you some depth to your images. So I'm going to choose first Gypsy Jewel. Okay, so you see it's going to go ahead and place the overlay on my image. This is a portrait version of Gypsy Jewel, and so we want to go ahead and turn it. And we're just going to turn it over to fit. Now you can use these any way you want. And actually, I really want that red to be on her hair. So I think I might just turn it around this way. Okay, so I'm going to use these little points here to resize the overlay to fit my image. We're a little bit crooked, so we'll just straighten things up. It's hard to get things perfectly straight. Oh well, it's okay. So we'll press the check mark to put it on there. Okay, it's really crooked, so I'm just going to drag it out. It's not a big deal. Okay. Alright, so now you can see that it's placed on top of my image. I cannot see the background layer. This is the background layer. This is Gypsy Jewel. What we want to go ahead and do is find a blending mode for it. And so I think what I want to do is put it on overlay. You're probably going to use just a couple blending modes with these: multiply, screen, overlay, and soft light. I'm going to choose overlay just so I can get it on there. Okay, so we can see now that it's on there, and if we want to rotate it just to get different effects, we can. If we want to pull it out this way, just kind of put it on there how you want. I really kind of want the red, the redness on her hair. So I think that looks pretty good. You can also just turn it and reverse it, see different ways. That puts a little bit more yellow on her hair. I definitely want the red, so I'm going to flip it around. Okay, I'm good with that. Alright, so obviously it doesn't look good on her skin. That looks pretty bad. So what I want to do is create a layer mask. And the way that I'm going to do that is by going to, with Gypsy Jewel selected, go to Layer, Layer Mask, Reveal All. Okay, this gives me a white layer mask. Sorry if you guys are seeing my emails popping up. On a white layer mask, we're going to use a black brush. Black is going to conceal, so it's going to take away any of the effect. So we have a black foreground color selected. We have the, press OK. Brush tool selected. And I just want to remove 100% of this effect from her skin. And by the way, I'm using a soft brush, so make sure that you're just using a soft brush. Now I'm just going to take it down Make sure that I'm really and truly getting it off of her skin. Okay, so if I take it off, you can see that this does affect her hair and the background here. If this is too much, you can always switch the blending mode to soft light, and I'll just take it down a little bit. This is overlay, and this is soft light. Okay, so normally I would probably just put it on soft light because this looks a lot more realistic than overlay, but because of the other overlays I'm going to put on, I'm going to just leave it on overlay mode. We can always switch it later. The next one I'm going to put on here is, let's see, Gypsy Wanderer. Now I love this one because it can really imitate a nice sun flare. So I'm going to just take it maybe to here, press the check mark, and I'm going to put it on screen. Now screen mode will just give it a nice hazy look, and then I'm going to use the move tool just to move it around to where I think it should probably be. Maybe right here. Now keep in mind that you can stretch these and move these to fit your image however you like. I'm going to create a layer mask using the same method as before. Now if you're using this in Photoshop Elements, creating layer mask is a little bit more difficult, and maybe we'll touch on that another time. So I have the brush tool selected, black foreground color. I definitely don't want this on her face, so we're at 100%, and I'm going to just take it off of her face here. Erase the edge. I'm going to go down with the brush opacity, get a little bit bigger, and just kind of hit that edge. Go down even smaller. What I'd like is just the impression that there's some sunlight coming from behind her. So I'm going to get really big now and take it down and just go over this. Okay. So that just gives the impression that there's a light flare coming from behind her. Now you can take this up or down as you need. If we take it all the way down and then start bringing it back up, we get a little bit of that sun flare. This is 100%. It's maybe a little bit too much, so we'll just take it down and bring it up. That looks pretty good. Okay, the next thing that I want to do is go ahead and place another overlay on here. And I'm going to choose Gypsy Stone. So this one, and you guys can tell I've already messed around with this before so that I could be a little bit more concise with this tutorial, but I'm going to choose Multiply on this, and you can see that it gives it a nice dark look. I'm going to choose another layer mask, and we're going to go ahead and take off some of this Gypsy Stone from her face. Okay, so we kind of get the impression that she's a little bit in the shadows. That's still just a little bit dark. So I might take off 9% more, just a tiny bit. Okay, now I want to take a little bit off of her eyes. Just lighten up the eye area area so her eyes stand out. A little bit here. Oops, I'm going to go back. Take that opacity down just a little. I'm just going to kind of highlight the, there we go. Maybe a little bit more down here. Alright, and then just to be sure, I'm going to take it to 100% and just go very closely around her eyes to take that effect off. Okay, so this is a great example of what happens when you go too far. So this is a little crazy. So we're going to put some back on. What we're going to do is make sure that our layer mask is selected. We're going to switch the foreground color to white. White is going to put back on the effect. So we're going to put it back on at about 15 or so %. Just a little. Just so it doesn't stand out so much. Okay, I'm much more happy with that. So at this point I'm done, and let's just take a look at the before and the after. This is before the Gypsy overlays, and this is after. It's a little bit mysterious. It just gives you a lot of depth and options to your image, and I think it still looks just a little much on the eyes, so I'm going to hit that. And we'll look at the before and after again. Before and after. And also if you wanted to take any off of the hair, if it's too dark, you would make sure that you have the black foreground color selected. And then just that might be a little bit better. Okay, one more time with the before and the after. Before and after. Let's take a look at the original. This is the original, and then I put Magic Eyes and Magic Skin, little bit of exposure adjustments with other actions, and the Gypsy overlays. So there you have it. I hope that you found it helpful. You can find all of our products, including the Gypsy Collection, at www.magicandlightcollection.com.